All right, so I am going to now create an environment using Vanishing Point. I have this hallway picture, and I'm going to go up here to Filter, Vanishing Point. Now this is going to be harder, right, for so many reasons, which I'll get into. But first, let's start doing the plane. So I like getting like some small space that I can deal with, like something like here. I'm trying to follow the floor and get these lines as straight as possible. Right? Now when it's red like that, it's not going to create a plane. It says that something is messed up, something's not even. Um, okay, so we can see how this works. No, that's not working at all. Let's pull this down. Probably something like that, maybe. Here we go. We definitely don't want too many of these squares that are turning blue there. You know, it's really hard to tell with these trash cans in the way. I think this probably needs to go over. Let's see, that's following the wall down there. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Let's see how that looks. That looks okay. Okay, great. Now we're going to, in fact, I'm going to go ahead and shrink this a little bit just so we can see that we want to take this all the way out. Okay, great. Now I'm going to hold down Command, bring up a new plane in the back, and this is actually looking pretty good, except I can see now I didn't get it as far over to the wall as I needed to. You see that? Great. So I'm going to go ahead and take out that plane and take care of that situation by taking that to the wall. Now I'm going to try that plane thing again. Bring it up, and that looks much better. Now there's not a lot we can do about this wall here, right? So we're following this wall. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the planes out now in this direction to build the box all the way out. I want to use all of this, right? Build it at the top, and finally build it at the sides. All right, so this is actually looking pretty good. Yeah, it looks real great. So what I'm going to do now is, once again, I am going to export After Effects BP, and I am going to make a new folder. Call this something like hallway, right? I'm making sure it's going into the right folder. And I'm going to call this hallway. Okay, I'm going to hit save. And it's going to take a second to save. And it looks like it's built everything, so we're good. I'm going to cancel out of this because I don't want to save that information. I'm going to go back here into After Effects. I'm going to import Vanishing Point just like we did last time. I'm going to go ahead and find the hallway, which I want, which is right here. I'm going to open it, and here's the hallway where it brings in all the PNGs that it created for the individual walls, right, and floor. And then, of course, it brings in the hallway here. Now, this may look messed up, and it is messed up, but it's fixable, but it's probably more messed up than what you even think. Okay? So this is what we're going to have to do. First thing we're going to have to do is straighten this out. So we know we go with the parent. We open up and we can do a rotation here, right? Here we go. Something like this is where we want it, right? That's nice and straight. Looks good, right? Now, it's weird. If we go to the 4 view, right? Here's the 4 view we're looking at. Where is everything else, right? Now, for whatever reason, we have to reset the anchor point here, right? And we have to do that over here by resetting it over here. As you can see, when we're looking at the right side, all the media is way over here on the right. And how can you tell this? Well, you know, it's pretty easy because we can look at the camera, which is all the way over here. And if we look at the camera and we go to the open, we see the position. Look at that. The position is in the Z, right? X, Y, Z. Negative 29,427, right? So that's where this thing is. So we're going to have to bring the camera and our media over the parents all the way over. All right. So we can do that quite simply by, we can move the anchor point all the way up here, and we can move this back. Now, something that might happen is that your area might actually be like even further away, like your media. You might not even be able to see it because it may be way out there. Like I've seen this in the hundreds of thousands. Okay, I'm not sure exactly why that happens, but it happens sometimes. Okay, so as I said, we gotta get the camera back too. We can do this pretty easily by doing like a, I don't know, -5 or something like that, right? And there we go with the camera, which should be just right up on there. There we go. And now, as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and change this to final quality. All right. As we move in and out, let's take the resolution down to like a third. All right. As we move the camera, right, it's going to look 3D, which is pretty good, right? And by the way, make sure you're in classic 3D render, right? If you are in the Cinema 4D, it's going to render very super slowly, and you don't want that. You want the classic. So anyway, this is actually pretty believable, right? So if we do something like this, where we have the camera and we animate everything for, I don't know, 20 seconds, where we bring it in this way, and we go to our one view, right, and we play this. It's going so slow because it's rendering in 3D, right? Not to mention, look at this, it's huge. This is really big. Still, as you can see, it's believable, right? It's 3D, which looks pretty good. Now, something to keep in mind is that as we start to get closer, right, things start to warp and change. So you got to be out. Like, look at this garbage can over there, right? And this is because the garbage can wasn't in 3D. We just made a box, and these are 3D objects in it. So things are going to start to get weird looking, right? You see, this is where the box was made. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and shrink this and put in an object, right? So we're actually supposed to be working in 29.97. So I'm going to use the hallway as the VPE because it's the environment. I am going to go to settings, and I'm just going to go ahead and make this our 1920 by 1080. Let's do 24 frames. There we go. Right now, of course, the camera is cropped, right? So the camera looks much bigger. So we're going to have to take the camera back so we can actually see what's going on. Camera, we can move this camera back. There we go. And in fact, we can change the camera's property if we want to, where we can do something like, I don't know, like a wide lens, like a 15 or something, right? Or rather a tighter lens. Or we could do like a, you know, something like this. Right? And now we can move in and we can see what's going on there. Great. Okay. So now that we have that, how do we combine? Well, actually, no, I'm going to do that on a different tutorial. So this is as far as I'm going to get this for this tutorial, right? Which is just having the hallway.